When I first got more productive, it actually felt great. I was getting stuff done, was making progress, and of course felt good about that. However, after a while, something else started creeping in. Every time I sat down to relax, it felt like I was completely wasting my time. And even when I skipped the break, even when I was doing productive stuff all day, it still didn't feel good. And it took me a long time to realize why that happened. Look, at that time I tried to do so many things at once. Besides school, I worked on my first side hustle. I consistently went to the gym. I was learning to play the piano. I was learning kickboxing and also tried to stay consistent on those habits like journaling, reading and meditating. Because that seemed right. Actually doing stuff instead of wasting time on my phone gave me that feeling of having control over my life. So of course I tried to stay productive all the time. However, at some point this changed. I stopped feeling proud about me getting so much stuff done, but started to feel that constant pressure. And this was also the time this feeling kicked in. Every minute I wasn't working or somehow being productive felt like a waste of time. Even when I was driving to school, I felt like I should be doing something productive right now. And even when I was spending time with my friends, something in the back of my mind was whispering, you should be doing something more productive right now. And actually sitting down to relax was the last thing that came to my mind. Because I couldn't turn it off. Resting wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. Instead of this pressure stopping, it only got stronger. And I get it. It feels like that's what you have to do. And you start thinking to yourself, that's just how you're wired. And on some level, this can even feel like you're superior to others. Because you start thinking that everybody's wasting their time. Because you stop seeing any purpose in stuff that's not productive. But is that really what you want? Is always feeling that intense pressure and stress really worth it? Or is the reason you can't sit still for a minute something completely different? Because I think the reason that so many ambitious people struggle to relax isn't always that it's actually worth it to them. At least that was the case for me. One of the reasons I only felt okay when I was being productive lied somewhere else. I think I was addicted to being productive. Like I said earlier, when I started getting more productive, it felt great. Of course you get this positive feeling out of getting stuff done. And then you maybe also get approval from others. People who notice, okay, this guy is actually disciplined. And when being productive actually feels good and even gives you approval from others, of course you'll do it more often. But now the amount of productive stuff you have to do in order to feel good rises. It's like with so many other stuff that's making you feel good. It's like with watching TikTok. At first, of course, it's really stimulating. But the more time you spend on the app, the harder feeling good gets through using the app. Or another example, when someone starts smoking weed. Of course, getting high feels really good at first. And now if you just do it more often, because it feels good, this high stops feeling as good as it did at first when you started. When you now smoke weed every weekend or every day. It's nothing special anymore and kind of just makes you feel normal instead of good. And I would argue the reason you can't relax, and even when you spend the whole day productive, you still don't feel good about yourself, I would argue this is also like an addiction. Because at first you got this positive feedback from being productive. It felt good, you got approval from others. So you started to be productive more and more and more. And that in itself isn't bad at all. Because you're getting stuff done, you're making progress in real life. Of course it's not the same like smoking weed, but it's still like an addiction. Because now everything else feels pointless. Now your whole life is about doing the thing that made you feel good earlier. Only that now doing the thing isn't even making you feel good anymore. It's now only making you feel normal. If that doesn't sound like an addiction, I don't know what is. So the problem isn't that taking breaks is a moral failure or something. It's just that you've trained yourself to only feel good through one thing, which is being productive. And of course, if you only feel good about yourself through doing this one thing, everything else will feel pointless. Taking a break will feel like a moral failure. Spending time with your friends will seem like a waste of time.